Hey, listen, have you ever got in the middle of something and then you just stopped? Well, because you got so distracted based on what was happening to you, based on the circumstances. Well, I want to declare to you that the way to stay and remain successful is no retreat. And I want to speak this into your life. As you go out today, as you go out the rest of this week, I want to speak this into your life that you're going to go forward. And no matter what's trying to hold you, you're not going to stop or slow down. All right. So there are three ways to make sure that you don't retreat and go backwards. Number one, burn your bridges. All right. People say, you know what, Brother Ricky? I've been taught all my life not to burn my bridges. I'm like, I've been taught all my life to burn my bridges. You say, what do you mean by that? The reason that Napoleon, the great Napoleon, won all the wars that he won a magnificent amount of wars that he won is because he would always burn the bridges. Tell all the soldiers, we're going to burn the bridges that we just went over. That way, you either going to fight with us and take a chance on winning, or you're going to die in that water. Why? Because we're not going to allow you the opportunity to do what? Be able to fight or go back. It ain't no going back because what? There's no retreat. If you believe that today, put NT in the chat. No retreat. Where are you headed right now? Is that destination worth it? I said, where are you headed right now? Is that destination worth it? Well, if that destination is worth it, it ain't no retreat and it ain't going back. Are you listening to me? Why do you think God gave us the breastplate of righteousness? What? The sword of the spirit, our feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Are you listening to me? And our loins gird with the truth. And he didn't give us no armor for our back. Why? Because it ain't no retreat. God is like, all my armor for you is offensive. I got your back. All right. Everybody put God got it in the chat. Are you listening to me? You ain't got to worry about your back. The whole point of doing what the whole point of rolling with God is so that he can have your back. You ain't got time to have your front and your back. Are you listening to me? You ain't got time to be looking forward and backwards at the same time. Why? Because you're slowing down your momentum. So that's number one. Number one is no retreat because I don't have nothing to go back to, but I burn the bridges. So all you have is an A plan. Don't have a B plan. Why? Because an A plan and a B plan they cause duplicity, and you're trying to do things at the same time, but you can't be two places at the same time. I just want to be two places at the same time, inside you and inside your mind. That's a cold-blooded cut, but that ain't no way to live your life. Why? Because you can't be two places at the same time. And the reason why whatever you're working on is not working is because why? You trying to have your own back by having a see, you can't do that with God. God don't play that. God don't like being two times. God like, you got a job, I got a job. Your job is to go forward. My job is to have your back. If you try to have your own back, then God is like, what, you gonna fire me? Did you hear what I said? God, everybody put DFG in that chat. Don't fire God. Are you listening to me? God want to work for you. He want to work for me. He want to work on our behalf. Don't fire God by what? Trying to have your front and your back. Don't fire God. Put DFG in his chat. Are you listening to me? Do not fire God. God is the best person, the best entity. That's your big brother. That's your major defense. Are you listening to what I'm talking about? You just go forward. Let God have your back. So that's number one. Burn your bridges. Only have an A plan. Don't have a B plan. Number two, decide to do things and stop making choices. You say, what are you talking about, Brother Rick? Decide, the word means DE, of or from. DE means of or from. Side means to cut off. So when you decide something, that means you cut off all other possibilities. That way you don't have to be, that way you'll be having to try to think about how you can do this and do that at the same time. Are you listening to me? So make decisions, stop making choices. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? Listen, I'm a wealth coach. I talk about money all the time with people. I help people with money. It's one major reason why some people got a lot of money and some people ain't. It's one major reason why some people got a lot of direction and other people don't. Is because most of the population don't make decisions. Most of the population make choices. That means that they talking to you and they saying one thing to you, but as soon as some pressure get on them, they do what? They change their mind. Why? Because even while they was talking to you, in the back of their mind, they always had another plan in case this plan don't work. But let me explain something to you. When you make choices instead of decisions, the thing that's really on your mind is the B plan, not the A plan. The A plan is not on your mind. Why? Because the B plan always has more power in your brain than the A plan when you make choices. Are you listening to me? See what I'm talking about? Take Adam and Eve. God told them, eat every tree in his garden freely. Just don't mess around with this one little garden. So Eve sits down and she makes a what? She makes a choice of whether she wants to do that or not. In the back of her mind, she's got a choice. It's not a decision. See, if she had made a decision, she would have cut off the idea that I don't even want to bother with that tree because that tree don't exist no more. See, when you make a decision, the second option is cut off. It don't exist. So you don't lose the energy and the power of thinking about the second thing because the only thing that you're thinking about is the first thing because the second thing don't exist. That's why the Bible says when a man leave his father and his mother, he shall cleave unto his wife and they twain shall become one flesh. Why? Because he didn't cut off the possibility of kicking it with anybody else. Because when you're trying to love two, baby, it ain't easy to do. I said, when you're trying to love two, show ain't easy to do. No, show ain't easy. Man, it's hard loving one person, let alone two. So when you have two people in your brain, and one of them is in front of you, but the other person is on your mind, then you can't take care of the thing that's in front of you because you were distracted by the other thing that's on your mind. That's why people ain't got money. Because what? They ain't going full steam ahead. They trying to go forward and backwards at the same time. So let me ask you a question. If you go forward and then you go back, if you go forward 10 feet and you go backwards 10 feet, where you going to end up at? You're going to end up right where you started. Are you hear what I'm talking about? The reason that we don't go backwards is because we don't retreat. Hey, listen to me. I started out, my income was $100,000 in 2021. But I wasn't going backwards, I was going forward. Why? Because I was making decisions and not choices. I made a decision that I was going forward, so I wasn't going to do the things that went backward. Hey, listen to me. One thing that I made a decision about was the real estate game. I'm like, the real estate game, these prices are, and they've been jacked up ever since 2021. These prices been too high. I said, so I'm not going to spend the majority of my time doing a business that's got a whole bunch of competition. I'm going to go forward in a business that don't have no competition. I'm going to teach everybody how to operate out of tax-free trust because it's zero competition. Hardly nobody knows how to do it. So I went, what, full steam ahead, no retreat. It didn't matter what happened. It didn't matter what nobody said, how nobody behaved. None of that stuff meant nothing to me. Why? Because once you make up your mind and go forward, everything else is cut off. When you make a decision, when you make a choice, then you say, what I'm gonna do, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a little bit of real estate. Let me see, I'm gonna do a little bit of Airbnb. I'm gonna do a little bit of I'm gonna do some network marketing. I'm gonna do a little bit. See, the problem with you is that you all over the place. All right. That's why you ain't got no money. All right. You don't need to do all that. All you need to do is just make a decision in your mind that you're gonna do what's really producing money right now, and you ain't gonna waste time with a whole bunch of other stuff. That's why I hire people to work with me. Why? Because they don't have no competition. One of my um, young ladies that work with me, she made $17,000 working with me over the last 2 months. $17,000 referring my clients to me because she's on my time consultant team. All right, God bless her. She made $17,000. She took her mother that's 94 years old and put her in a personal room. Hey Dale, this hold on a second. Let me check this trick. This is not me. I'm gonna block this person. Okay. This is another fake Stellar Homes account. I really came on here to tell you all about all these fake Stellar wealth management accounts. And okay, I blocked them now. Let me delete the comment. All right. So all right, he's deleted now. Okay. So I came on here just to announce to you all. If somebody sent you a package talking about the Stellar Wealth Management, emailed you a package, they can get y'all emails because they just look y'all information up. They follow me, find out who's following me, and then they get y'all information, and then they send y'all stuff like they us, but it's not me. All right. I don't have nothing about no S corps, C corps. I work with tax-free trusts. The reason that they don't send you nothing about a tax-free trust is because these tricks don't know nothing about tax-free trust. They don't even know. They can't even fake you out. All right, because they don't even know. They don't even know how to fake you out because they ain't got none of the information. They don't know how to do what we do. Why? Because I made a decision. I was going full steam ahead to teach the whole country, the whole continent, what it means to operate out of tax-free common law trust, and we ain't got no peers. All right. When I meet people, they talk about they know what they're doing. I'm like, you ain't never got a check, ain't gonna never get one. Come on over here and learn what's going on. Stop wasting your time. All right. Stop wasting your time because you ain't gonna waste none of mine. All right. So whatever you got, that stuff don't work. If it worked, you wouldn't be talking to me. All right. So just come on over here so we can help you operate out of tax-free trust, get your money back from the bank, and live this tax-free life and stop playing games. Okay. So if you're interested in that, put challenge in the chat, and I'll see you at the next challenge. You say, Brother Ricky, that's where you ask me questions. That's where you ask me questions at the challenge. Just put challenge in the chat. Well, if you're over here on TikTok, just direct message me challenge and we'll send you the challenge. Next challenge is coming up. Next challenge is coming up. Somebody's going to win a free trust from me and a whole year to work with me out of the first 50 VIPs. So I would jump on that real quick. All right. I would jump on that real quick so you can be one of the first 50 because the first 50 filling up fast. All right. So I would jump on that real fast because after number 51, you can't be in a challenge. I ain't never gave no drawing away. This is challenge number 42 because I don't even do that. All right. I don't even do that. I don't even do all that gimmicky type stuff. I'm just going to bless somebody this time. I just felt inclined to do it. Okay. So we've been real blessed. So we're just going to bless somebody this time. All right. So put challenge in the chat if you want to come and jump in there quick before it's too late for you to be able to have an opportunity to win. If you're on TikTok, just send me a message. All right. So that's number one. Number one is the number one thing is only make an A plan, don't make a B plan. Okay, that's number one. Don't put challenge right here, y'all. DM me challenge. Hey, DM it to me because you're on TikTok. Over here, DM it. DM it directly to Rick the Wealth Coach, the real one. Pay attention to the one you're DMing it to, not the dude with 15 followers, the real cat, me that you're talking to. Okay, so send it to me. All right. So 3 things real quick. I got a meeting. I'm going to go to in 5 minutes, 4 minutes now. So number one, let's recap. No retreat. Okay. First thing you do is that you make sure if you want to make money, plenty of it, if you want a great life, if you want a life that ain't fudging and hedging, up and down, in and out, and all that sort of, if you don't want that type of life, you want a consistent life and you don't want to be going backwards, you want to just go forward progress only. Okay. First thing you do is make sure that you burn your bridges. Now I know you ain't been taught that way. That's why you ain't got no money, because you ain't been taught right. You got to be taught right to have some money. Okay. And one thing that you need to learn is stop having 2 plans. You say, well, I got to do that, Ricky, because if I got 2 plans, then no, see, ain't no room for God in no 2 plans. That means you squeeze God out the equation. And when you're doing business, you should have God, all business, God business. All right. So you should be doing business with God in it, not God out of it. If you got a game plan where you got 2 different things going, you say, I got this just in case I need to fall back on it. No, what's going to happen to you is your brain is going to be falling back every day. Why? Because you're too comfortable. To make money, you got to make yourself uncomfortable. Are you listening to me? You got to make yourself uncomfortable. Then eventually you get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You hear what I'm talking about? You get used to the discipline of being uncomfortable, and then you won't even be uncomfortable no more. Why? Because it's just your new discipline. You hear what I'm saying? Because you've been going at it. All right. So number one, burn your bridges. Number 2, make decisions, not choices. The word decision means DE, up, from, is side. Side means how do I know how to DM you? Just go to Rick the Wealth Coach and DM me. And ain't the same way y'all do it on TikTok, you do it on anything else. Just go to my page, Rick the Wealth Coach, and send me a message. All right. Inbox me. I think that's how y'all do it. Inbox. I think that's what it is on TikTok. So just inbox the word challenge if you're on TikTok. And my grandson does this every day. He'll send a challenge. He'll send a link out to you. He'll be out of school in a little bit. He'll be sending it directly to you. Just inbox me the word challenge if you're on TikTok. All right. We'll send you the challenge link. All right. So this is the last thing. I got 2 minutes left. So the second thing is, so burning is number 1. Number 2, make decisions, not choices. And then number 3, keep the momentum. See, if you make decisions and not choices, you'll have a momentous life. Everybody that got money is because they got momentum. Are you hearing me? Everybody that's got money is because they have momentum. All of us that's got money, we don't put challenge here, y'all. Inbox me challenge, okay? Inbox me the word challenge. Don't put it here because ain't nothing gonna happen. All right. Inbox it to Rick the Wealth Coach. All right. The real one, the one that's talking to you. All right. Okay. And so the last thing is burn your bridges. Number 1. Number 2, decide instead of make choices. And then finally, number 3, keep your momentum. All right. But that's how you keep your momentum, because what you so used to doing the same thing. You can't get used to doing the same thing, doing this and doing that. And what? Starting and stopping. And what? Doing something to make you feel good and then doing something, but because you get nervous or because you're not used to it or because you're not really as good as you're going to be yet, you cut off the momentum. All money is made from momentum because money desires speed and it has to have velocity. And there is no velocity without what? Momentum is what creates velocity. If you get into a plane, the few minutes that it takes to pull off is what? is where it takes all the energy to get it up. Once it gets into the air, the momentum takes it up. And then you do what? You start gliding at a certain altitude. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? Are you hearing what I'm saying? It's time to glide. All right. If y'all ready to glide, come on, put glide in the chat. Ain't you tired of hustling? I said, put glide. When it's no retreat, eventually you start gliding. All right. Are you hearing me? How do I know? Because we glide every day. Why? Because we haven't retreated in 8 years. I ain't went backwards in 8 years. I ain't nothing slow me down, stop me. Are you listening to me? I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you from experience. I'm not just saying, I'm just talking out the side of my neck. I don't let no devils, no demons, no haters, no nothing stop me from doing nothing. Are you hearing me? And I speak into your life today. The ability to be able to go ahead. It's been a plum, pleasing pleasure, as well as a privilege. I love y'all. Ain't nothing you can do about that. Have an outstanding rest of your day. And remember that stellar is the stellar does. No retreat. Full steam ahead. God bless you. Make it rain like a hurricane. I got the bounce.